Star Wars only. I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
Star Wars has a big history of what-if scenarios on what could have been or what would have happened if, I don't know, Richard Marquand didn't direct Return of the Jedi and it was actually Steven Spielberg as planned, or maybe if Ron Howard and Steven Spielberg and someone else had directed the prequel trilogy like George Lucas originally planned, or what if George didn't sell the franchise, made the sequels himself, what if Colin Trevorrow stuck around for Episode 9 instead of leaving. But one of the most well-known what-if scenarios that could have happened over the past, 7-8 years, was Star Wars 1313. This was a game that was supposed to come out in the year 2013. Wow, that feels... It's only 7 years, but that feels like a lifetime ago, considering what's been going on in the world the past year or so. It's been crazy. In 2013, we were supposed to get Star Wars 1313, which was kind of like a third-person shooter. It was very open world vibe where you go through the underworld of Coruscant, level 1313, and in this photo that's the leak is that you have a protagonist who is Boba Fett himself. This is probably a young Boba Fett, and this isn't, in my opinion, too much of breaking news. I did a lot of research onto LucasArts and what was going on behind the scenes many years ago, and I remember when they were making the game, LucasArts had a very bad development history with a lot of their games. I'm very happy that Lucasfilm decided to do in-house games kind of like 1313 to be developed by people like LucasArts, but it also had a lot of problems, and one of them was they were constantly changing presidents over the 4-year time span. They went through 4 different presidents, a different president every year, and in situations like this game, they were developing it, and George Lucas himself came in after they had already gotten their main protagonists ready for the game, and he said, I really want to make this kid Boba Fett. Why don't we make him Boba Fett? I think that'd be a hit with the kids. And the developers were like, well, George, it's a great idea, buddy, but we're already kind of 8 months in. Well, it could be Boba Fett. I mean, come on, how hard could it be to make him Boba Fett? All right, good luck with that, guys. And then what do you know? He sells the franchise about a year later, and LucasArts, not being what it used to be, was canned by Disney. They had their own ideas on what to do with the Star Wars IP in terms of video games, and that was with EA. And so Star Wars 1313 was never made, never saw the light of day. But thankfully, images like this give us a small little glimpse at it, give us a little peek at what could have been. And now we have a lot more confirmation that it was Boba Fett who was supposed to be the main protagonist of this game. I think the game honestly looks really good. It kind of gives me the vibe of that Bounty Hunter game that you played as Jango Fett. I love that game so much on the PS2. Those were the days, my friends. But this image and the fact that it's Boba Fett feels almost like it's kind of like a sequel to that game. And I think that's such a great idea. I mean, just this image alone, honestly, of the game, it looks like some in-gameplay footage of the game when they were developing it at some point. This is probably like the first hour of playing the game. It just looks gorgeous. I really wish we could get a game like this where you actually go to the underworld of Coruscant, explore that kind of life. This is one of the reasons I was interested in Colin Trevorrow's version of Episode 9, is that he actually would have made Coruscant like the final planet to visit in his version of the film. And I just like that idea. I like exploring the world of Star Wars. That's, in my opinion, what's been lacking in the past 6 to, I don't know how many we're at now, like 6 to 7 movies, is that they haven't really explored the world of Star Wars too much anymore. It's about the main characters that we have and what they're doing, and sometimes it's nice just to look at how Star Wars, at least in the films, can feel very immersive and feel like it's actually a very lived-in world. This, to me, is doing that. This 1313 image is showing that you're actually going to visit Coruscant and interact a lot with the population and the characters in the Star Wars universe. It just feels like a missed opportunity. I'm really disappointed that they didn't continue with this game, just to kind of be like the last little hoorah for LucasArts. I understand the development on this was rough, and most LucasArts games had that problem at the time because things were constantly changing. They couldn't get a lot of the games where they wanted to be. And then when you sell Lucasfilm in 2012, going into the future, it's like, well, do we want to keep this company that's pretty great, honestly, when it comes to the games they've delivered on, but have had development history over the past 5 years? Should we keep them around or just go our separate ways? It kind of makes fiscal sense for Disney to go a different route, but doesn't mean we can't be disappointed in the decision, right? So tell me your thoughts below. What do you guys think about this image of 1313? Do you wish this game would have came out? Are you glad we got something like Jedi Fallen Order instead? And what are your thoughts about Boba Fett being the main protagonist of the game? I think this is a good possibility and something they could explore in the future. I'm Star Wars Only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me your thoughts below. I'll see you all next time, and may the Force be with you. Always.